What's up, guys? So this is the bulbasaur that I made by 3D printing, and I actually designed it myself. So let me move the head around so you guys get to see the movements on it. And then next, I will be moving the legs so you guys see the articulation of the legs. And in this video, I'll be showing you guys how I actually designed this. So I am new at 3D printing, so I will be using the most basic software out there, which is tinkercad. By the way, just ignore that Godok over there. It's just for size reference. It was actually the very first Pokemon I made. So first I started out with the head by using a half sphere, and all I really did was just rotated it and resized it to the shape that I want. Oh, and I also forgot to mention I got these reference pictures from Pokemon Go. So thanks, Pokemon Go. Once I was done with the top half of the head, I started the jaw next. I just used another half sphere for it. And basically the same as the top half, I just resized it and rotated it to the position that I want it to be in. Now I will be turning the top half of the head into a hole just so I can see the jaw better. So it will make it easier to resize and everything. Once I finished with the jaw, I started the ear necks, which I use a parabola. And again, just size it down, rotate, and place it to the position that I wanted. Once I got one ear, I just duplicated that one and flipped it around using the flip feature and moved it out to the position where the other ear is. Once I got both ears to the position I want, I grouped the whole head together and then made a duplicate. I always make duplicates of parts because you never know, you might mess up on one and need a backup one in case. Next up was the eyes, and for that I used the extrusion feature. For this one, it starts out as a cylinder, but you can reshape it to whatever shape you want. So this Bulbasaur is actually for one of my brothers because he asked me to make him his favorite Pokemon. And I will be making some for my other brothers too because they also asked me. I am planning to make a lot more Pokemon, so if you guys would like to see them, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Anyways, let's get back into the eyes. So I planned on making a cutout of the eye into the head. So once I get the eye to the shape and size that I want, I'm going to copy and paste the head and then turn that head into a hole and combine it to the eye. So I can have the same curvature of the head onto the eye. This way, when I cut the eye into the head, it will make an evenly and smooth indent into it. So once I get the eye, I want to move it into position and then just duplicate it, flip it around, and then move the second eye into the other side of the head. Once both eyes are into position, I'm gonna turn them into holes. That way they will cut into the head and leave the indent for the eyes. Next up is going to be the body. So for that, I'm just gonna use the egg shape and then just gonna tweak it until I get the shape that I want for the body. Once I'm done with the body, I want to cut an indent of the body into the head where it connects. That way the head can have the mobility to move around. You will see that I actually made the body a little bit bigger before cutting it into the head. That way when it connects together, the head won't be rubbing against the actual body. And next up is the bulb. And as you can see, that one I made before looks nothing like it. So I'm making a new one. And the black piece, again, it's just the extrusion shape. Just reshaped it and rotated it to position. And the blue shape is just a sphere, and I shaped it into an oval. So for the black piece, I want it to decrease in size as it goes up. So for that, I'm gonna use a cone and reshape it. So what I'm going to do with these cones are I'm gonna put a smaller one inside a bigger one. And then the smaller one is going to be a hole and the bigger one is going to be a solid. And then once when I combine these, I'm gonna turn it into a hole again. And then the inner cone is going to reshape the black piece. Now I just have to resize the two cones into the size that I want. So I did have to resize the black piece. I had to make it thinner and then taller a few times before I got the right size that I wanted. Once I got the shape I wanted it, I just duplicated and then flipped it and then moved it out to the other side so I can get the opposite bulb. So now I'm just highlighting both of the bulbs and then duplicate and then rotating the new bulbs into position. I did realize I put too many leaves onto the bulbs after I was done, but I was just too lazy to redo everything and put the correct amount on there. So I just left it as is. So once I was done with the bulb, I just had to resize it a little bit and then slap it on Bulbasaur's back. So next up, I will be making the front legs. It will just be a sphere and then reshaping it into an oval. After the feet, it will be the claws, which is just going to be a parabola in rotating and resizing. So the second and third claws are just going to be copy and pasting and then slight adjustment to get it into position. And then I was just making sure all the claws are actually touching the floor so they will be even with the feet. So what I'm doing now is cutting a slot into the body where the leg is going to connect so the legs can move whichever way they need to. Kind of similar to what I did to the head. Once I got the leg and the cutout into position, I just copy and paste and then flipped it around and move it to the other side so it can look the same. The back two legs are exactly the same concept as the front two, so I'm just going to skip that part. What I'm going to do now is making a joint for the legs so it can connect to the body. I'll be using a cylinder to make a hole that's going to go into the body, and the joint, which is going to be connected to the leg, will be a sphere. I usually make the hole smaller than the joint by 1 millimeter. That way, when you slide the joint in, it's a tight fit, but then it is still able to move and rotate. Next up is the neck, which is going to be a cone and a sphere. So the last part that I'm doing is the hole for the neck, and it is just going to be similar to the one for the legs. So this is going to be the end of the video, so thank you guys for watching. If you would like to see me become the greatest Poke Print Master and creating many more Pokemon action figures, then please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel.